Hello everyone. So in our previous video, we saw the demonstration using an animation and we discussed that how we can delete the last node of a singly linked list. So in this video, we will see that how we can code a method to delete the last node of a singly linked list. And in one of our previous video, we also saw that how we can delete the first node. So let's say I just comment out the delete first method. And if I run the code now, you can see we have inserted these 4 nodes using insert last method, and the singly linked list contains 11, 8, 1 and 10, which are 4 nodes and which got displayed using the display method. Now let's say we write the code to delete the last element of a singly linked list. So here when we call delete last for the first time, 10 will be removed because it is the last element of the singly linked list. So here I'll create a method as public list node delete last, and after deleting the last node we'll simply return it from this method. So in our previous video we discussed that the first thing we do is we simply check that whether head is equal to null or not, and we also check that head.next is equal to null or not. Now why we do it? Because this condition head equals null will signify that singly linked list is already empty and there are no nodes to be deleted. And head.next, why we do it? Because if head.next is null, it means the singly linked list is only one element. So what we do is we simply return head. So if the first condition is true, null is returned, and if the second condition is true, the head is returned, because this is the only node in the singly linked list. So this is the if condition. And after that what we do is, in order to delete the last node, we need to somehow traverse to the second last node and remove the linkage. So how we can achieve that? In our previous video we discussed that we can create 2 pointers. One is the current, which will start from head. Another is previous, which will be always be previous to current. And why we do so? Because once current reaches to the last node, previous is already at the second last node, and we can simply remove the linkage by using this previous node and finally return the last node which got deleted. So here at the start, current points to head and previous points to null, and then we need to provide a while loop so that we can reach to the last node of the singly linked list. So the condition we provide here is we simply check whether current's next is equal to null or not. So if current next is equal to null, it signifies that we have reached to the last node of the singly linked list, because last node's next points to null. So inside this while loop what we do is we move current by one position, and before moving current to one position ahead, we simply assign current's value to previous, so that previous always remains one node behind the current, so that when current reaches the last node, previous is at the second last node, and once we get the location of the second last node, we can simply remove the last node from the singly linked list by simply putting previous.next equals null. So this breaks the chain of the singly linked list from the last node. So here what we do is we do previous and assign the value current to it, and after this assignment we simply move current to its next position by assigning current.next to current, and this while loop goes till current reaches the last position, and previous reaches the second last position. So after this while loop terminates, one last step we do is we do previous dot next equals null, because this will break the chain between the singly linked list and the last node, because previous is pointing to the second last node and its next is pointing to the last node, and we want to delete the last node, so we simply assign null value to previous next. So this will break the chain, and finally we simply return the current. Because we have deleted this node, so we simply return it from this method. So now let's test its working. So here we have this list of 4 nodes 11, 8, 1, 10. So let's remove the last node of the singly linked list, which is 10. So I'll just uncomment this part, and instead of delete first, I'll do delete last, because we are removing the last element, and then I'll simply print the singly linked list again. If I run the code, so here you can see that initially the list contained 4 nodes. Then we called the delete last, which removed the last node and returned from this method, and then we simply printed its data, which came out to be 10. So here you can see the 10 is the last node of the singly linked list, and after that I again printed the singly linked list, which came out to be 11, 8 and 1, because 10 is already removed. So similarly, let's say if I remove one more data, and if I run the code now, so here you can see first 10 got removed by this method, and then when we called again delete last, 1 was removed. So the singly linked list now has only 11 and 8. 10 and 1 are removed. So friends, in this video we saw that how we can delete the last node of a singly linked list. I hope you like this video. Thanks, have a nice day.